Super Mario Odyssey, the most recent mainline 3D Mario game, surprisingly has more cut content than you probably expected. Of course, every game has scrapped content because it is impossible to put every idea a developer has into the final product. So yes, despite the game being nearly perfect in many aspects, Mario Odyssey feels rushed at the end of the day, mainly due to the post-game content we got. There are around 880 moves to collect in the game, but many of them are just lazy. They're just out in the open, and there's little to no challenge in getting them. It feels like Nintendo wanted to do something else with these extra moons, but they didn't have anywhere to put them. The moons in Mario Odyssey are spread throughout the kingdoms in the game, which are the small open worlds you explore. There are a total of 17 kingdoms in the game, which mostly feel different from one another. However, the post-game kingdoms, those being the Dark Side, Darker Side, and Mushroom Kingdom, all feel a little half-baked at times. The Mushroom Kingdom has no story incentive whatsoever, it's just kinda there to be a cool reference, and the Dark and Darker Sides of the moon are just a boss rush and a giant challenge gauntlet. There's nothing special going on there either. Now, post-game content is not found in every 3D Mario game, that's true, but the games that have extra post-game worlds or missions all live up to the quality of the base game. That just doesn't seem to be the case with Mario Odyssey though. So, knowing this information, is it really surprising when I tell you that Super Mario Odyssey has a completely scrapped post-game kingdom? The second you get past the credits in Mario Odyssey, you arrive in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is meant to be a reference to the Peach's Castle hub world in Super Mario 64. The castle itself has paintings you can jump through, areas you can go to that were present in Mario 64, Yoshi is here, and you can even get this cool low poly Mario outfit as well. This kingdom was a love letter to the first 3D Mario game, just to show how far 3D Mario has come. But what about the second 3D Mario game? Super Mario Sunshine was released around 6 years after Mario 64 for the Nintendo GameCube, and like Super Mario 64, it also had a unique world for its levels, that being Isle Delfino. This is the island where Delfino Plaza is, and if you don't know what Delfino Plaza is, it's basically the Peach's Castle of Super Mario Sunshine. This town has entry points to all of the levels in the game. Alright, so why am I telling you this? Well, several pieces of evidence point to the fact that Delfino Plaza was supposed to be a kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey, but was scrapped for unknown reasons. A while back, someone made this hoax showing presumably unreleased DLC of Super Mario Odyssey, in which Mario and Cappy are standing in Delfino Plaza. You can even see the Odyssey, the hint toad, and purple coins. Everything is here and accounted for, but unfortunately, this turned out to be a hoax, as some people pointed out that the font used in the UI does not match the font used in the actual game. But even though it was unfortunate that this whole thing turned out to be fake, it got me thinking, what if Delfino Plaza was actually in Super Mario Odyssey? And then I found out that it was actually hinted at several times by Nintendo during Odyssey's pre-release. First, we have this image, a map of the world in Super Mario Odyssey that was found in Japanese ads for the game. If we look at the bottom left corner of the map, we can see the Mushroom Kingdom, which is appropriately shaped like a mushroom. But we can also see a tiny island located off the mainland, which is shaped like a dolphin. Isle Delfino is also shaped like a dolphin, and since it's located in close proximity with the Mushroom Kingdom, it seems that Isle Delfino was supposed to be another post-game kingdom. But we can even find remnants of Isle Delfino's existence in the final game. Yes, there are outfits and whatnot that reference Super Mario Sunshine, but that's not what I'm talking about. If we look at the globe in the Odyssey, we can see the Mushroom Kingdom, but if you look very closely, there's a slight bump above the Mushroom Kingdom that is painted over with the water texture. If we slow the footage down, you can sort of make out an image of a dolphin, which again is Isle Delfino. So maybe this means nothing to you. Maybe you think this is just an Easter egg left in the game and nothing more. Here's why I think that's wrong. An unused globe texture was found in the game's files. Putting this texture by the one used in the final game, there are several differences, but one of the most notable ones is that Isle Delfino is present in the unused texture, while it was just outright removed in the newer one. There was also this other lone island in the corner of the Mushroom Kingdom, which God knows what that is, but Isle Delfino is here and accounted for. If it was just a simple Easter egg, then why would they try to hide its existence in the final game? Its presence on the globe in the final game was purely left in by accident. You can see that they tried to paint over it so nobody would notice it, but since they never bothered to change the actual mesh of the globe, it's still viewable. So no, it's not an Easter egg. If it was, then they wouldn't be trying to hide it. Alright, so it was supposed to be in the game. What if they just added in as DLC? Well, unfortunately, I think that ship has sailed. It's been nearly 7 years since the release of Super Mario Odyssey. I think any sort of DLC is completely out of the question at this point, especially with the Switch successor on the horizon. I know games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got expansions years after the game was released, but that was already 2 years ago, believe it or not. Even with Bowser's Fury being the closest thing to Super Mario Odyssey DLC we have, I think they're just done with this game. We got Balloon World and Labo VR support, but those were the most major updates. We never got anything on the scale of a completely new kingdom. But what about a sequel? Maybe they're saving Isle Delfino for a more island-themed 3D Mario game. Bowser's Fury had you traveling from island to island on Plessie, and everyone speculated that this is what the next 3D Mario game was going to be like. Just a bunch of islands that you travel to. What if Nintendo wants Isle Delfino to be one of those islands you visit? That would be a cool Easter egg, and it would actually fit with the theme of the game. Or maybe they just simply didn't have time to put it in Mario Odyssey, so they decided to scrap it. Unfortunately, given that the entire post-game of Mario Odyssey feels rushed, time constraints most definitely played a role in the decision to scrap Isle Delfino, and that's really disappointing. Mario Odyssey is a groundbreaking title, and is a revolution for 3D open-world platforming. Just imagine how much better it would have been if all of Nintendo's ideas were fully realized. For the next 3D Mario game, I'm not asking Nintendo to put every idea they've ever had into the game, but I want it to feel like a consistent and finished experience. But we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.